Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Matt with Termite Co. Inc. here in Southern California, and I want to talk about termite inspectors in the real estate world. So, if you're a real estate agent either in Los Angeles County or Orange County, you have most likely already have worked with a termite inspector, a termite company, to come do your inspection for your home transaction. Typically, we come the same day as all the other inspectors, your home inspector, your chimney inspector, mold inspector, pool inspector, and various other people that'll be there to check on everything in the house, get it ready to be bought during escrow. And termite is very important. It's a crucial step for a buyer to buy a home because, as you may know, if you're an agent already, you know that pretty much every house has termites in it, or some kind of termite activity, or water damage, or water leaks, water stains, things like that are all related to termites. You want to use a company, of course, that is reliable, trustworthy, goes the extra mile to make sure that they discover everything that they need to discover related to termites. And for the most part, we work with buyers, right? The buyer of the home, they work with the buyer's agent, and the buyer's agent will recommend a termite inspector or a termite company to come out and do the inspection. There have been a few times where the listing agent, before they list, they have us come out and we do a pre-listing inspection, basically take care of all the termite work before they even go to market, which is a smart decision too if you just want to make sure you get all of that stuff taken care of before you go into escrow, especially if you want it to go quick. You don't have to go back and forth over credits or who's going to do the work and when and all that stuff. But primarily, I would say 95% of the time we're working with the buyer's agent. Of course, you want a great, reliable inspector, the one that you trust to go with every single time you have a home that's ready to be bought. And you want your clients to feel the same way, right? That your client is trusting you, the agent, to have a great recommendation for an inspector. And at Top Termite, we've been around for 30 years. And in that span of 30 years, we've, of course, built up your reputation with real estate agents as being extremely thorough, trustworthy, and pleasant to work with. And we want to continue that. And of course, that is how we stay in business, right? We will not be around if we didn't do what we were supposed to do during the inspection, if we were late turning in things, if we missed things on the report, or if we're charging absorbent amounts of money to do the repair work or treatments or whatever it can be. So to stay in business for that long, you have to do things right, and you have to do things morally right, and not trying to just swindle people out of money. Obviously we want to stay in business and we want to make money doing it, but we're not going to charge $18,000 to fumigate a house that normally would cost $5,000, right? That's not our MO, and we don't plan it to be. And we don't do pest control. We're one of the few companies, there's maybe less than 100 in all of Southern California that are just branch 3, where they just do termite inspections, wood destroying organisms. We just focus on dealing with termites. What that enables us to be is specialized. All of our inspectors are specialized in being branch 3 field reps or operators, where that's all they do each and every day is termite inspections for home sale transactions. Yes, we do occasionally get the call from a homeowner who sees some termite droppings in their house and they want a fumigate or treatment done, whatever. Yeah, that happens. But for the most part, we're working with real estate agents. And what we pride ourselves on is being extremely thorough. All of our inspectors are trained for at least 6 months before they're on their own. They're trained with a senior inspector. And what that allows us to do is train an inspector to do things how we've been doing it for decades and to not miss anything and to be extremely diligent about finding everything they can when doing the inspection. We're not skipping out on anything. So recently, I went to an inspection for an agent. This is a home sale, and he actually had another termite inspector go there before us. I actually don't even know the company. I don't know anything about it. He just told me he had another inspector come, and it's an inspector that he's used on many transactions. So it wasn't like we were a company that he called on a regular basis, but he knew about us and he knew we had a great reputation. So he was explaining to me, I needed another inspector to come out because my other inspector came to the inspection in like a sweater, like a turtleneck sweater, slacks, dress shoes, came in a Tesla, not really dressed to do the dirty work that an inspector does. The agent said he didn't see him go underneath the house. He poked his head in to the crawl space, didn't see him go up into the attic, wrote a bunch of damages and termite droppings, and there were that were visible on the inside of the house. It was everywhere. He basically saw that there was termites in the inside of the house and just decided, okay, I've seen all I need to see, and termites will be on my report. And for us, that's not what we do. We're not there to just point out one area with termites. We're going to go everywhere around the house, because what if there's a water leak underneath the house? What if there's subterranean termites? What if there's wood damage that you can't see just by being inside the house? And that's exactly what we discovered. So we actually went underneath the house in the sub area, crawled all the way around, and we discovered subterranean termites, which they didn't know on the previous report. We also found fungus growth on the subfloor underneath the house, which was not noted, and we found some other wood damages. So that's incredibly important, right? For a new buyer that's buying a home to know those things. And if an inspector is not going all the way through the sub area, if they're not going all the way through the attic, you're really getting shortchanged on what's going on inside the house. Yeah, maybe the inspector, he saw some termites on the outside of the house under some rafter tails and a window, and then he saw it in the garage. And yeah, would he be justified in saying, yes, you need to do termite treatment? Sure. Yeah, he found the termites. We know they're there. However, what if the inspector actually went into the sub area and found droppings underneath there? What if he actually went into the attic and found droppings underneath there? Now there's a lot more evidence that was discovered, that evidence of active termite infestation that needs to be covered after the fumigation, so that the homeowner knows that, hey, these are old droppings. This is a new infestation. We've taken care of the problem. We know it's old. And that's something that we do. We'll go back in and cover the evidence of termites so that we know, hey, this is old evidence. We treated it. Anything new is a new infestation and will be dealt with accordingly. Whereas if they didn't cover and we go into the house, the attic next time, 2 years from then, and we just see termite droppings there, we're going to say, hey, that's active infestation. It wasn't covered. There's no way for us to verify that it's old or new. So it's important for inspectors to be diligent, go throughout the whole house. And you're not just looking for termite droppings, right? There's a lot more things that we're doing. We're looking for evidence of water intrusion. We're looking for water damage, water leaks, water stains all throughout the inside of the house, outside of the house, underneath balconies, underneath pergolas, windows. So there could be so many areas where water intrusion gets into the house. And the reason why we call that out is because termites are attracted to water. So if we see there's some water damage behind, underneath the windowsill, we're going to call that out because we're thinking, hey, that's an area where termites are going to go after. You need to take care of that problem, whether it's fixing the window or sealing it or whatever. There could be various ways to deal with that, but we're there to call all of that stuff out. We test shower pans. So we will test the shower, if it's a stall shower, and there's a sub area below where we can see the pan. We'll block the drain and fill it up with water, and then when we go underneath the house, we check the shower pan and the pipes underneath to see if there's a water leak, an active water leak. This is also extremely important because it could be a very big deal if there's, the shower pan's leaking. That's a huge cost to repair that. And so the buyer needs to understand these things. Whereas if we don't go underneath it, we don't discover that, we don't test the shower pan, and then 6 months later go on and they discover, hey, the shower pan's broken. Why didn't the termite inspector point this out? That's on us. That's our fault that we missed that. It really behooves us to go everywhere around the house, discover everything we can, for the benefit of the buyer, right? Really, our job is to inform the buyer of everything that we see going on inside the house that they're interested in. And can this be difficult for the seller? Yeah. The seller doesn't want there to be a bunch of stuff wrong and with the house, and then they got to negotiate credits and lower the price of the house or whatever they have to do. Of course, they don't want to do that, right? That's the name of the game. That's part of the transaction of selling a home is you're going to have issues with it and they're going to need to be fixed. For the most part, though, it's not an issue, right? People understand that there's going to be things wrong with the house, and you negotiate it and you come up with a solution, and we're there to do the treatments and make it a simple, easy process as possible for dealing with termite stuff. So if you're a real estate agent, you need to really be aware of what it takes to be a termite inspector. It's not just walk around the outside of the house, poke a few windows and doors, and then poke your head around the attic, poke your head around the sub area, but not really go in. That's not a termite inspection. That's just lazy. That's just trying to collect a check, right? Our inspectors are trained to be everywhere that they can get to in the house. If, of course, there's limitations. If something's only 8 inches and they can't fit through there, then yeah, they can't get there. But everywhere else, they're going to, and they're highly motivated to find termite evidence, right? Because of course that means we've discovered evidence, and now we're going to recommend treatment, and we get paid from that. But they also want to do a good job, right? They want to serve their client, they want to serve the agent, and ultimately serve the buyer, finding everything wrong with the house. That's our job, and that's why we do what we do. We want to make sure these transactions go smoothly, and the buyer's happy with what they're getting. They're paying really good money. It's a lot of money for some of these homes. They didn't know what they're buying, right? They need to be informed, and that's our job. So yeah, I hope this video helps real estate agents out there, and even homeowners if you're, or potential buyers if you're looking to buy a home in Southern California. These are some things to be aware of. And if you're a homeowner or soon to be a homeowner, you want to know how we work with the agents, right? And what agents are doing to hire termite inspectors, right? And what the agents are using to vet them, and what qualifications they have. So you want to be aware of those things as well. Don't just rely on the agent, but educate yourself about the termite world and how things operate here, because the more information you have, the better. So yeah, if you want to learn more about what we do, you can find us at toptermiteco.com. You can call us 323-954-4900. We're happy to answer any questions if you're a real estate agent or a homeowner. Looking forward to speaking with you.